Welcome to BIT's GST online filing for professional services. Meet Dragon Tax Solution Private Limited, a thriving IT company in Thimphu. The team behind the apps you use, the websites you visit, and the cloud services powering Bhutan's digital future. And this is User, their finance manager. User's world is 100% digital services, which actually makes GST filing simpler. No exempt items, no complicated categories, just straightforward professional service taxation. Today, we are walking through Dragon Tax Solutions January 2026 GST return in real time. You'll see exactly how service-based businesses like yours can file accurately, quickly, and stress-free. User logs into BIT Online with his email and password and navigates to Returns, January 2026, File Return. The return header appears. TPN autofilled. Tax type Goods and Services Tax. Period January 2026. Due date 2nd March 2026. User uses cloud accounting software that categorize transactions automatically. Digital businesses need digital tools. Dragon Tax Solution imported both physical goods and digital services in January. Watch how BIT handles both seamlessly. Physical goods imported. MacBook Pros for developers. Niltrum 300,000. GST paid at customs. Niltrum 15,000. Digital services imported. Adobe Creative Cloud License USA. Niltrum 50,000. Microsoft Azure Cloud Credits. Niltrum 100,000. Total imported services. Niltrum 150,000. Here's what makes digital imports different. No customs clearance, but Bhutan's GST law requires the RCM, Reverse Charge Mechanism. What is RCM? Think of it as self-reporting for fairness, the smart tax rule. When you buy services from foreign suppliers who don't charge Bhutan GST, you must account for the GST as if you are both the supplier and the buyer. Why? This creates a level playing field. Local IT companies charge 5% GST on their services. Foreign digital services should be taxed the same way. Fair competition. The smart part? In your GST return, there's one single field for all imports, physical goods and digital services combined. Total taxable import value. Physical goods, Niltrum 300,000. Digital services, RCM, Niltrum 150,000. Combined total, Niltrum 450,000. User enters Niltrum 450,000 in the total taxable import value field. Watch BITs calculate instantly. Input tax, Niltrum 450,000 times 5% equals to Niltrum 22,500. RCM note that Niltrum 150,000 in digital services, user will also enter it in the sales section, creating both input tax here and output tax later. They cancel each other out, zero net impact. For Dragon Tax Solutions local business expenses in January. As a service provider, most costs are operational. Office and infrastructure. Office rent, Niltrum 50,000. Electricity, Niltrum 15,000. Internet and telecom, Niltrum 20,000. Professional services, accounting and legal fees, Niltrum 25,000. Supplies and subscriptions. Office supplies, Niltrum 10,000. Software subscriptions, local, Niltrum 20,000. Total domestic taxable purchases Nultrum 140,000. User enters Nultrum 140,000 in domestic taxable purchases and expenses. BITS calculates automatically. Input tax Nultrum 140,000 times 5% equals to Nultrum 7,000. Running total transparency. Let's see your total input tax building up. Import physical goods Nultrum 15,000. Import services RCM Nultrum 7,500. Domestic expenses Nultrum 7,000. Total input tax Nultrum 29,500. See how BITS makes you look like a GST expert. It's calculating everything behind the scenes. Now, for the revenue, the services Dragon Tax solution delivered to the clients. Service revenue breakdown. Web development Nultrum 350,000. Mobile app development Nultrum 250,000. IT consulting Nultrum 180,000. Cloud services Nultrum 120,000. Total domestic service revenue Nultrum 900,000. Remember the golden rule? If you charge the client and collected GST, it goes in your return. RCM magic moment. Now, here's where RCM comes full circle. Remember those Nultrum 150,000 in imported digital services? Why? Because RCM treats you as both buyer and seller for tax purposes. In your GST return, there's one single field for all sales. User enters Nultrum 900,000 plus Nultrum 150,000 RCM equals to Nultrum 1,050,000 in total taxable sales. BITS calculates output tax equals to Nultrum 1,050,000 times 5% equals to Nultrum 52,500. See the RCM magic? Input tax from RCM Nultrum 7,500. Output tax from RCM Nultrum 7,500. Net effect Nultrum 0. They cancel out. You have compiled with the law, but there's no additional tax burden. That's exactly how RCM is designed, compliance without cost. Dragon Tax Solution developed a mobile app for a Singapore client worth Nultrum 160,000. Is this an export? Absolutely. Services provided to international clients equals to exports. User enters Nultrum 160,000 in zero-rated sales. Export of services. Why zero-rated? Here's Bhutan's smart export policy. You don't charge GST to international clients, making you globally competitive. You can still claim input tax credit on expenses for that project. Win-win. This policy helps Bhutanese service providers compete internationally. Export your expertise. Bhutan supports you. Smart taxpayers verify before submitting. User double-checks his input tax credit claims against GST Act restrictions. Why does this matter? Claiming ineligible credits may trigger extra compliance costs for your company. Protect your company. Verify your calculation first. All verified? Let's proceed with confidence. Let's review Dragon Tax Solutions' complete January GST position. Input tax claimable. Total input tax Nultrum 29,500. Output tax collected from client. No GST on exports. Total output tax Nultrum 52,500. Final calculation. Output tax Nultrum 52,500 minus input tax Nultrum 29,500 equals to net tax payable 23,000. Dragon Tax Solution owes 23,000 to the government. This represents the tax on the value Dragon Tax Solution added through their expertise, which has been charged to their clients. Fair and transparent. Document upload. Going digital isn't optional anymore. It's essential for modern service businesses. Professional taxpayers always triple-check. Users' final verification. ITC claimed correctly. Calculations verified. 29,500 input and 52,500 output. Documents attached. 5 files. Net tax payable 23,000. Everything perfect? Check the declaration box. This certifies your accuracy. Hit Submit Written. Success. Written filed successfully. Confirmation. Reference number auto-generated. Amount due 23,000. Payment deadline 2nd March 2026. Feel that professional satisfaction? You have earned it. One final step to complete the return. User clicks Pay Now and BITS directs him to the payment portal. Payment details pre-filled by BITS. Taxpayer Dragon Tax Solution Private Limited. TPN autofilled. Tax type GST. Period January 2026. Amount 23,000. User clicks Online Banking and authorizes the transfer. Payment confirmed. Receipt sent to email. Dragon Tax Solutions January GST obligations are complete. Filed and paid from their own office. Pay before 2nd March. No penalties, no interest, no stress. Excellent work. User just filed Dragon Tax Solutions complete January GST return. No office visit, no queues, no confusion, and ensured 100% accuracy using BITS. You can master this too. GST filing doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be done right. Questions? Click Contact us anytime. GST experts ready to help.